Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, I want to take us through remainder and the factor theorem under polynomial this afternoon. And we'll be looking at this topic because it's a major concern we have to look at when it comes to JAM. You understand? For everybody doing JAM, writing JAM this year, factor theorem is going to come out in mathematics. So let's look at the basis before we dive into some questions. Now, they say these theorems take their roots from long division with number. Now, let us study some of the long division cases. They say we should evaluate 13 divided by 2. 13 divided by 2. Now, when we are doing 13 divided by 2, right? Now, using the long division method, this is what we call the long division method. I'm very sure you guys have been taught long division method on division when you guys are in primary school. Do you understand that? So, having our long division method, we have our 13 inside the division sign. And we have our 2 outside. Now, 2 divided by 13 gives us 6. No? 2 divided by 13 will give us 6 is going to remain 1. Now, how do we get the remaining 1? So, you're going to tell them that 6 times 2, that will give us what? 12. So, we write that 12 under the 13. So, we now subtract 13 minus 12, give us 0, 1. That is going to remain 1. This is the remainder. We refer to these two as our divisor. Under polynomial, we have what we call the divider, we have the divisor, and we have the quotient, we have the remainder. The remainder. Do you understand that? The remainder is what remains. Do you understand that? When you divide something with the divisor, divisor is what you are using to divide. Do you understand? For instance, now for this 13, that's why I say this 13 equals to 2 times 6 plus 1. Meaning this is the divider. This is what we want to divide. What we want to divide is referred to as divider. Do you understand? That's why under it I wrote divider. Then these two, which we are using to divide, is what we call divisor. Do you understand? Now, the 6 that we can see, the number of 2 we can see in 13 is 6. Do you understand? That's our quotient. Do you understand? And the 1 is the remainder. What remains? Since 2 cannot go in 13 perfectly, it's not a perfect number that 2 can go in. It's not that means it's remaining 1. The remainder that remains is that 1. So you must know your divider, your divisor, your quotient, and your remainder. Now, look at the other example here. 12 divided by 2. Dividing 12 divided by 2. 2 in 12 will give us 6. Then after that, if we use it now, nothing will remain because 2 is a factor. Since it's not remaining anything, we don't have anything that is remaining. There's no figure remaining. 0 is our remainder. Do you understand that? So, since we don't have any remainder other than 0, do you understand that? Definitely 2 is a factor of 12. Do you understand? So, when 2 divides 12, we get 6. There is no remainder. Thus, 2 is a factor of 12. Do you understand that? Remainder theorem becomes factor theorem when the divisor divides the divider without a remainder. Do you understand that? Remainder theorem. Now take note of this please. The remainder theorem becomes a factor theorem. When does remainder theorem becomes a factor theorem? That's when the divisor, you understand, divides the divider without remainder. It becomes a factor theorem. That's why the topic of dealing with is remainder and factor theorem. Do you understand that? Now, let's look at some questions and solutions here. Now, mind you, all the questions I will be solving are jam-pass questions. Jam-pass questions. And most of these questions are from the mock jam 2025 they did this year. So, let's look at the question 1. They said divide x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 by x minus 1. We have to divide this. So, now we are going to use the long division method. Now, don't forget to indicate your long division method. Now I'm using the long division method. This is going to be my divider. This is what I want to divide. They say x cubed, right? Minus 2x squared, right? Minus 5x plus 6. Then I'm to divide it with, my divisor will be x minus 1. Now how do I divide it using the long division method? Do you understand that? They asked me, the question says I should divide x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 by x minus 1. I want to divide it with x minus 1. Now, this is our divider. This is our divisor. Now, how do we do this? We are going to use the first term in the divisor, which is our x. How many x are we going to see in x cubed? If you divide x cubed by x, what will remain? X squared. Do you understand that? So, x, how many x? When we divide x by x cubed, remain x squared. So, you write the x squared as your quotient up here, x squared. Now you're going to now multiply using this x squared, which is your quotient here, to multiply everything here, your divisor. You need to multiply your divisor. So x squared multiplied by x will give us x cubed. Are we together? Then minus x squared times 1, that will be x squared. So you subtract this. Do you understand that? You subtract this. X cubed minus x cubed will be 0. That will cancel each other out. Are we together? Now, minus 2x squared minus x squared. Minus times minus there give us plus. That's telling us minus 2x squared plus x squared. Are we together? So from here now we're going to have minus, our answer will be minus x squared. We are going to have minus x squared. Then you write this one down. What remains after the main divider? That will be minus 5x plus 6. Now you go again. How many x can we see minus x squared? If you divide minus x squared divided by x, it's going to give us minus x. So we are going to write the minus x here. Now use this minus x to multiply this divisor again. Minus x times x will be minus x squared. Minus x times minus 1 will be plus x. That will give us plus x. Then you subtract this again. Do not forget that you are going to subtract. So I'm putting this inside a bracket because I don't want the sign to collide. So you subtract minus x squared minus x squared. Minus times minus give us plus to open that bracket. Do you understand that? So minus x squared plus x squared, that will give us 0. That will cancel each other. Do you understand that? Now from there, minus 5x minus plus x. That will be minus 5x minus x. You know, minus times plus will be minus. So we are going to have minus 6x now. Then bring this one down, plus 6. Are we together? Minus 5x minus plus x minus 6. Minus times plus minus. So minus 5x minus x will be minus 6x. Then bring the pluses that remain are in the divider that we are using. Bring it down. Do you understand that? Now we have to begin. How many x? When you divide minus 6x divided by x, what will you have? You know, if you divide minus 6x, just like this, minus 6x divided by x. X will just cancel x. We make minus 6. So our minus 6 is what we have here. Do you understand? Now from this place, use this minus 6 to multiply your divisor again. Minus 6 times x, that will be minus 6x. Are we together? Minus 6 times minus 1, that will be plus 6. So subtract this again. We are going to subtract this from each other. This is going to be minus 6x minus 6x. That will be minus 6x plus 6x. That will cancel each other. That will be 0. Then minus 6 and the plus 6 minus plus 6. Plus 6 minus plus 6. So minus times plus there becomes minus. Do you understand? Then we have this one to be plus 6 minus 6. Now that will also become 0. So here it will be 0. This also will be 0. This is going to cancel each other. So we have 0. So no remainder. Now definitely they ask us to divide. So we have our quotient. So our final answer. So we are going to therefore, comma, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 divided by x minus 1 is equal to, that will be, you write your quotient out, which you get on the top, x squared, what you have on top is your answer, x squared minus x minus 6. So this is going to be our final answer. Now look at the option. I guess we have option A as our answer. So that shows A. is the correct option here. Now let's look at another question. Let's take another question. Alright, let's take this question. It says find the positive. Find the positive value of P if the expression expression 2x squared minus px plus p leaves a remainder 6 when divided by x minus p. Now let's look at this question. This is a jump question that came out in the mock they did in 2025 last week. Now let's look at this. They want you to find the positive value of p if the expression 2x squared minus px plus p leaves a remainder 6 when divided by x minus p. Now I can solve this in two ways. So you need to understand your steps while solving very well. I will apply using the second way to solve because of our time in JAMB. As a JAMBite, you need to be conscious of your time because you have a lot of questions to solve. Now, they said they have divided this polynomial by x minus p. At the end of the day, after dividing it, they have a remainder of 6. The remainder is 6. Definitely, since the divisor is given as x minus p, do you understand that? I can say x minus p will give us 0. Do you understand that? Now, trying to make x subject of formula here, I'll just say therefore my x is equals to plus p. So wherever I see x in this equation, I'm going to input it as p. Since I'm looking for the value of p, they ask me to find the positive value of p. So I'm going to look for the positive value of p by substituting x as p. Do you understand that? Now, our polynomial we have what we call function x. So since we are now asked to find p, so we are going to use it as function p, not function x. It's now p, not function x. So we are going to now have our function, whenever you see something like this as function p will now be equals to 6 because the remainder is 6. The remainder of function p is 6. So now, therefore, we are going to have, we have 2x squared, right, minus px plus p, do we understand, equals to 6. Now equals to the function p, this is it, the remainder is now equals to the remainder, which is 6. Now from here, substitute x to be p. So we are going to have 2 into bracket p raised to power 2 minus p into bracket p plus p equals to 6. Then we have this to be 2p squared, opening the bracket now, 2p squared minus p squared plus p equals to 6. From there we have 2p squared minus p squared will be p squared plus p equals to 6. Now, transposition. This is leading us to a quadratic expression. Transposition here. If by transposition here, definitely we are going to be having p squared plus p minus 6 equals to 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation. We have arrived at the quadratic equation. And when we arrive at the quadratic equation, on correct question you have to get 2 answers for your P, for the unknown. Definitely we are going to use factorization method. Let's factorizing now. Factorizing. So we are going to be having factorizing this. I'm going to look for 2 values of plus P. Now, how do I get the 2 values for plus P? I will always tell you, let me dive into correct question quickly. When you want to factorize on correct question, now you want to get the value of plus P. Look for 2 numbers that when you add them or subtract them together, you get plus P. Now, how do you do that? This is your A, this is your B, this is our C. Our C is the constant. Since our coefficient of our A is not more than 1, do you understand that? So just go straight to your constant. Pick your constant, which is 6. Divide that 6 by 2. 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. So 3 minus 2 gives us what? 1. Simple. You got your factor. That means we are going to have plus 3P minus 2P as our factor to give us plus P, because we are looking for plus P. So your sign is important as well. So therefore here we are going to have P squared plus 3P. So we are inputting 3P plus 3P minus 2P for our value of plus P now. Minus 2P minus 6 equals to 0. From there, put them inside a bracket. P squared minus 3P minus open bracket 2P minus 6 equals to 0. So from there, bring out the common factor here will be P into bracket P plus 3 minus the common factor will be 2 into bracket P. Then minus times minus. Do not forget, a lot of students make this mistake. They just put minus here. That's very wrong. So minus times minus gives us plus. You have to take note of that. So minus times minus gives us plus. So that's going to remain P. Then minus times minus plus. How many comes in 6? That will be 3 equals to 0. If the sign, the term inside the first bracket is not the same thing as the term inside the second bracket, then definitely you are wrong with your factorizing. So now, since these are the same, you pick one out of the 2, P plus 3. Do you understand now? Then put the other one inside the bracket, P minus 2 equals to 0. Definitely, our P plus 3 will be equals to 0, or P minus 2 equals to 0. Definitely, we transpose this. P will be equals to minus 3, or P equals to plus 2. Do not forget, that will be the 2 values for my P. But definitely, they said I should find the positive value of P. So you can tell them, finally, the positive value of P is plus 2. Final answer. Now, it's a jam question, and sorry, I forgot to write the options, but let me indicate the options that we have from the jam there. I think, let me just place the options here. Option A is 1. Option B in the question says 2. Option C says 3. Option D says 4. So I think B is going to be our option. Now that will be the end of the class. In our next class we are going to continue. So don't forget to follow our channel, Alpha Tutors, and follow our WhatsApp channel. I'm going to drop some assignments on the WhatsApp channel. You guys should attempt those questions on factor theorem. Thank you.